Alright, what up everybody? It's time for another week of Madden Online head-to-head, and looks like we drew the Falcons this week, so yeah, I've mentioned that before on the channel twice. I've been to two Packers-Falcons games in real life, and on both of them, I watched the Packers lose, including the NFC title game years ago, so let's see if we can get a win over this bird team while talking about a real-life matchup between the Packers and another bird team, the Baltimore Ravens. But yeah, first things first, we're going to do this kickoff real quick. I've been doing the opening kickoff and seeing how well the person does on their return. If they have a good return, then I usually kick it out the back of the end zone the rest of the game. That's probably what's going to happen exactly on this game, but yeah, if it was a bad return, I would have started doing more placements here, so oh well. Yeah, we're going to do some defensive adjustments here, and then, you know, start on that side of the ball. I haven't played too many Falcons players this year. I think probably about 2 or 3 so far. And it seems like, you know, a lot of times they're going to run with Robinson. You know, that kind of is what it is. He's a fantastic back, so it makes sense. Other thing I have to kind of watch out for is a lot of the times they end up doing a lot of crossers and stuff with Drake London, and that seems to kill me if it goes unchecked, but well, that's a fortunate development right off the get-go. Get an interception 2 plays into the game with Evan Williams, so hell yeah. But yeah, as we get going here on offense, Packers Ravens, you know, Lambeau Field, primetime football, so this should be a pretty good game. As I get like a little 3-yard run right there. You know, Packers are 9-5-1 after an absolutely frustrating loss to the Bears this week, which may or may not have led to me needing to get a new phone case at the end of it. But you know, thank you to the Minnesota Vikings for helping us clinch a playoff berth with them defeating Detroit on Christmas night. So, Merry Christmas to us at least. And yeah, it's going to be a tough battle for the Packers to get to the NFC North title now at this point with that loss, because they got to win the last 2 against, you know, Baltimore here and then Minnesota, and the Bears have to lose their last 2 against, you know, both the 49ers and the Lions. It's like a Musgrave right there wide open, so first down. But yeah, meanwhile, Baltimore comes in this one 7-8 after the loss to New England this past week, and basically must win just to keep their season, you know, alive, even though it's going to be a tough challenge either way at this point. This would be the first time since 2021, I believe, I remember seeing that they wouldn't make the playoffs, which is extra crazy with, you know, Kansas City also not being there. 2 kind of big heavyweights for the AFC for a while there. But yeah, it looks like we're not going to have either quarterback in this game. You know, Jordan Love's already been ruled out with a concussion. So get another first down here with Josh Jacobs. And then Lamar Jackson injured his back this week, so he's been ruled doubtful, which, you know, that, it kind of sucks. Like, obviously, I'd much rather face, you know, backup quarterback than Huntley. Ooh, nice little first down there. But, yeah, I mean, we've never gotten that Lamar Jackson versus the Packers matchup yet. He got drafted to Baltimore in 2018, and we faced Baltimore in 2017, so the first time he would have had the opportunity was 2021, and he was injured in that one too, so yeah, maybe we'll see it one day. I don't know yet, but yeah, just kind of going through some past history as well. Green Bay is 5-2 all time as we get another first down. Let's go Jaden Reed. But yeah, 5-2, including 3-1 at home, so normally I would go over the injury report as well, but really no point, because we're like 5 injuries away from me having to go grab my pads out of the shed back there and go up to Green Bay. Just friggin' like 21 or 22 players on the injury report this week. Damn, thought I was going to get a touchdown there to close off the quarter, but we will start the second quarter from the 1-yard line, it looks like. Alright, as we get the second quarter underway, I'm going to see if I can do something that Green Bay's been struggling at in real life here, and that's get a touchdown in the red zone. And we got it, so awesome. Josh Jacobs puts us in the lead right now. But yeah, you haven't seen too many touchdowns in the red zone for the Packers recently. I saw an article from A to Z Sports this past week that said basically through weeks 12 to 16, Green Bay's 29th in the league in touchdown conversions in the red zone. The only teams that have been worse than us so far is the Jets, the Patriots, and the Panthers, which you don't want to be in our company right now. Had 5 red zone trips against the Bears and came away with 9 total points, I believe. 3 field goals. Had a turnover as well at the 3 that ended up being pretty costly later on in the game. And yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do to try to fix that. Maybe the answer is to try to get Love the ball, let him pass it a little bit more because he's been pretty efficient this season. I know they like to run the ball a lot. It seems like they're always trying to run, and it gets kind of stuffed down there a little bit more. So maybe this week with Malik in at quarterback, they can do something different, just test it out and see what works or something. He's going to probably be successful doing some read options as well in there, so that'll be a little bit of a different look. Let's see, we got a big 3rd down here. Got the stop, so all right, decision time for my opponent. 4th down inside his own 40, and he's already down a touchdown. They're going for it. More brave than I would be, probably. I'd probably be trying to punt right now and hope to hold on downfield. See if we can get the stop here real quick. Trying to stop London. Thought Williams was going to get a second pick there. He had the dude over the middle though. I don't know why he didn't. I don't know why they didn't throw it, but glad they didn't. So as we switch over to offense real quick, looks like man coverage. Gonna put Jacobs on a wheel route. See if that gets picked up or not by a safety. He is not. He's free. Safety was over late. Let's go, baby. That's one way to make an answer real quick. Get the turnover on downs and then touchdown first play to go up 2 scores. Let's do this. All right, we're getting ready to get the second half underway here. Didn't miss much right there after the Jacobs touchdown. My opponent threw an interception to me when I was controlling Cooper. And then, yeah, I ended up getting all the way down to the 1-yard line. And after talking about the red zone offense a little while ago, my dumbass ended up throwing an interception to Luke Musgrave. I was trying to hit him on the little mesh route, and my opponent had to use the work on, so oh well. But we got to halftime here, so get the ball first coming out of half. Let's see what we can do with it. But yeah, outside of the red zone, one of the other keys I was going to say for the offense is just, they got to keep being successful on 3rd down. I saw Green Bay still number 1 in 3rd down efficiency after this past week for the entire league, 50.3%. And reading up on the Ravens, because I haven't watched them as much this season, it sounds like, they struggled to get off the field against New England as we get a 1st down with Dobbs there on the wide receiver screen. So, ideally, if Green Bay can kind of keep themselves on the field and, have some long extending drives, that keeps King Henry off the field, which will be nice because, he's an older back at this point, but damn, dude is still a beast. As we hit Dobbs deep there on the play action. Yeah, I mean, he's at like over 1,200 yards and 12 touchdowns already this season on the ground game. And considering Green Bay just gave up almost 6 yards per carry against the Bears, I am not looking forward to seeing that attacking our defense. No Parsons, no Wyatt. That's going to be another big thing. Is like for the defense, who the hell steps up on that D line? Good, nice little 7-yard play there. Yeah, I mean it's and especially too, like if Lamar Jackson's not going to be there, typically in the past Baltimore's kind of, I don't know if anybody's covering Watson here. I'm gonna see here in a second. Nope, got him. Let's go, baby. Well, I didn't get up to 21 before halftime like I should have after the interception I was talking about, but we got up there now, 21-0. So Let's see. All right. Well, doesn't look like a forfeit just yet, so we'll see what we can do here. But yeah, the one thing I'm hopeful for in Green Bay's case is Baltimore seems to turn over the ball a decent amount. I saw that they are up to 22 this season, which is the most since the 2021 season that they missed the playoffs. So, you know, kind of gut feeling if Evan Williams gets to play this, you know, this week, I think he'll get one of them, like he did earlier in this game. You know, if not him, if he can't play, then maybe somebody like Xavier McKinney gets an interception this week. Just feels like it should happen. No really strategical analysis or anything like that, just a straight up gut feeling. But I haven't even addressed him, but Zay Flowers too. I'm a little bit worried about seeing our secondary trying to stop him, but you know, the one kind of underrated aspect of that is, I believe Jeff Hafley coached him at Boston College. I kind of vaguely remember them talking about that in the interview this week, so hopefully that leads him to get some inside knowledge on how we can go ahead and stop them. But nice play by London there. Yeah, I think overall by the end of this game, I think it's going to be a close one as my opponent goes to hurry up offense. But yeah, I think Green Bay is going to, you know, get a victory. 28-24 is my official prediction, but you know, I see King Henry, you know, going for 100 to 120 yards on the ground. I just think that there's going to be kind of a crucial turnover later in the game that, you know, allows Green Bay to kind of sneak out with a victory. I have Malik Willis going for about 220, you know, between passing and running, so I think he'll keep the offense moving all day. It's just a matter of trying to convert. I don't think Josh Jacobs is going to have a full workload this week, even though he doesn't have the game status. But I'm interested to see how Emmanuel Wilson does. You know, he had 82 yards on 14 attempts last week. So, I mean, like, he's been capable. Let's go. Shutout is still preserved. Oh, man. That's basically what I did on my interception. But, yeah, I mean, when I was looking up the rushing defensive stats, too, Baltimore's pretty similar to Green Bay right now. The biggest thing is, like, Green Bay's 4 yards per carry versus 4.2 as I throw an interception right there. And then they gave up a few more 20-yard runs. It was, like, 10-4, so I think Wilson could pop a few 10-yard runs in there, so maybe sneak out a 20-yarder. Yeah, can't believe I threw that pick. All right, fourth quarter, and yeah, hopefully I can get another stop after throwing that interception. Nope. Opponent made me pay instantly in the shutout server. That sucks. Oh well. Yeah, still up 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. Yeah, hopefully I can just kind of run down the clock here at the end. At least that's going to be the goal for this upcoming drive. But yeah, to kind of get into the Bears game a little bit. Yeah, that shit was rough. Obviously the ending was brutal. Brinson getting the face mask call that basically gave the Bears the first down instead of 3rd and 20, and you know, that set up a field goal, and then Dobbs not catching the onside kick, and Nixon just having a rough performance, giving up the touchdown on 4th down before overtime, and then the deep shot at the end there too. You know, just all of it absolutely gut punching. You know, I saw a few people try to compare it to the Seahawks game back when we lost to them in the NFC title game in the 2014-2015 season, but you know, it's not on that level to me. Like, as bad as this game sucked, and it was very similar, like, you know, blowing a big lead and, you know, choking at the end and everything, like, at least this season's not done yet. Like, I think Green Bay, if they had to face the Bears in a rematch as we get ready for a 3rd down here, you know, I think Green Bay could absolutely go in and, you know, beat the Bears in a playoff game, you know, whether it's at home or at Soldier Field or whatever. That sucked. I'm gonna have to punt here. Did he just rough my punter? Yep. Ugh, that's a crap way to have your your drive extended for them. All right, 220. So yeah, you're still just chewing clock here. Get the little bit of a gift right then with the kind of unforced error, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, I think Green Bay will absolutely get the Bears in the playoff game. Like, the series has been close, both games this year, but I just feel pretty confident once you get, Love back, Evan Williams back, Zach Tom back, have more than one tight end by the end of the game. Because, it seemed like, Musgrave was the last man standing. But, yeah, that Seattle game when we lost to them in the NFC title game pretty much sucked the soul out of my body. Like, it's been hard to get as angry about sports ever since then. But for the game this past week, there was still some encouraging stuff too. Like, I mean, obviously, shout out Malik Willis coming in off the bench and putting up. I think he had like 44 yards on the ground for 10 carries, 9 of 11 for buck 21 and a touchdown in spot action. He's going to get his bag during free agency, and he's been an absolute blessing to have in Green Bay. I wish there was a way to keep him as our backup quarterback going forward, because the offense just seems like they get better play calling with him in there. So I'm going to throw this one away, sadly. This is going to be a long-ass field goal attempt. 58 yards? Something like that. Let's see if we can make it here. I'm very capable of doing it. Just have to make sure I get it right. Ooh. Should be good. Let's go. Alright, that brings us back up to a 3-score lead, so that's going to be insurmountable with less than 2 minutes to go, or at least I hope so. Fair enough, we're going to have a comeback loss again. I'll be triggered like hell during this game. But yeah, outside of Malik, I've already kind of talked up Emmanuel Wilson a little bit in the keys of the game. He looked good filling in. Bullard on defense, I noticed him a few times. I think he ended up with like 10 tackles on the day, which I didn't realize he had that many, but he was looking pretty good, so hopefully you can kind of keep up the upward trend a little bit. And, should give Jordan Morgan a shout out. I know he had the one bad sack given up, which I've read a couple spots that I think he was expecting some chip help and didn't get it, but, sometimes it don't work out at guard and you're a natural tackle, and for his first start at right tackle, he didn't stick out as a sore thumb to me, so I'll take that. And then the defense too, like, even though obviously it kind of collapsed all at the end there, the Bears at one point during that game was something like 1 of 11 on third downs. Like, defense was doing great up until the end there, so it was what it was. And then right now we got another 4th down on the defense. Let's see if we can get a stop here. Only a minute and 15 left, so I mean, it's not going to matter too much, but I'd like to get another stop. Evan Williams, baby. What a game. And that looks like it's going to be it, too, because I think my opponent's forfeiting. Yep. Conceded, whatever. So, hell yeah. So, 24-7 victory on this week's video. That moves me to 8-4 this season. We'll see in a second. But, yeah, 8-4 is more like it, if it is that. Because seasons 2 and 3, I absolutely sucked on mine. Yeah, 8-4, so we're good there. But yeah, if y'all enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, whatever. I tried to do these weekly during the season, as long as I don't have any more back flare-ups and random stuff like that happening. But, I appreciate y'all watching all these videos and everything like that. So, if I don't get a review video up, quick enough, I wish y'all a happy New Year, be safe, and I will catch y'all on the next one.